Coming up next, I'm going to teach you how to turn your stress into strength. And then what is going on with all of the rage in the workplace? I'll break it down and we're going to coach you up. Let's go. Coaching you to make the difference you were born to make. I'm Ken. This is the Ken Coleman Show. Let's get it. So I've been absolutely nerding out on this book, Top Dog, The Science of Winning and Losing. Why am I doing it? Two reasons. One, it interests me. And two, it benefits you. How about that? That's why I read. I've got my historical and novels I like to read from time to time, but a lot of times I'm reading on your behalf. And we've been talking about this week. And so there's two types of people in the world as it relates to pressure. So we're talking about professional performance right now. So there's pressure, stress of having to perform. In other words, when I speak in front of 5,000 people, the way I handle that pressure and the way you handle that pressure may be completely different, but it is two sides of the coin. So you are either what this book calls a warrior or a worrier. Now, don't start thinking that if you are labeled a worrier that you are weak and less than. You are not. You are not at all. It's simply a way of describing how we deal with pressure, how we look at pressure. I am a warrior. In other words, I perform very well under pressure, and I actually look forward to pressure. So I'm a lifelong procrastinator. Do you know why? For all you procrastinators out there, I got an anthem for you. The reason that you procrastinate and the reason that I procrastinate is not because we're lazy losers. It's because we're performance freaks. I need the pressure of the paper being due tomorrow, and then I perform at my best. It's just the way we're wired. All right, now, so today, we talked about warriors yesterday. Today, I want to talk to warriors, and I want to encourage you. Again, you're not weaker, and you're not less than. You're just different. And here's the science part of it. The difference between whether you are a warrior under pressure or a worrier under pressure has to do with how your body processes dopamine. So let me explain. If you are a fast dopamine processor, you're the warrior. You tend to crush it just instinctively. You're like, pressure? Pff, I'm ready. Let's go. And so you perform optimally when pressured under stress. Now, if you're a slow dopamine processor, obviously you are the worrier, and your natural reaction is to withdraw, to crumble under pressure. And you perform optimally in low pressure situations. So this is the takeaway. Warriors do best under high pressure. Worriers do best in low pressure. All right. So warriors, here's what I want you to take from this. You have a competitive advantage. In low stress work, your dopamine levels are higher than mine. So whereas I need a little bit of pressure and a little bit of last minute, gotta go. You need lots of preparation, lots of processing, and systems. In that case, your dopamine is higher than mine. You're checking off the box. You're very prepared. You've thought through this. Your dopamine's at a really high level when you are not stressed. So we got to put ourselves in that place. How do we do it? Preparation. So for you, preparation is key. It's your secret weapon. So let's say, let me just put this in context for the worrier. If you have an opportunity to speak at the SMART conference here in April on our campus, going to be 3,000 people in the room. I won't finalize my talk until the night before. That's just a fact. And my team knows that. I've been thinking about it and processing it for a long time. But I will not put the final touches on it. And our team will tell you this. They will not get my stage notes until probably 11 to 12 at night the night before. Why? Because I've been thinking about it for months. In fact, I already know what I'm going to speak on. If you're coming to the SMART conference, I can tell you right now, I'm going to talk about how to get breakthrough in your life, and it's harnessing the power of clarity, confidence, and courage. I already know what I'm going to talk about. But I haven't finalized the talk, and I won't finalize the talk because for me, I need to know the pressure of the deadline and that the talk is tomorrow, and it allows me to put that final touch on it because my heart is alive, my brain is alive. That's the warrior. The warrior, you know what you need to do? You need to be writing out that talk today and preparing it every day until April. Why? Because the more you prepare, the more your dopamine levels actually rise. My dopamine rises when I don't prepare and I'm all feel and heart and I get up there and I pour my guts out on the stage. All right. So you can outperform the warrior though. Warriors, are you hearing me? Your preparation will actually allow you to outperform me because of what you prepare yourself to do. And when the moment arises, it's not stress, it's not pressure, and you have some advantages. Let me illustrate. In the book, they cite a study of 172 pilots. Stanford did this with airline pilots, 172 of them, various skill levels. But they were broken down between those who had the warrior gene, which means they don't do well under pressure, they have to prepare, and those with the warrior gene who like the pressure. The hypothesis of the study was that the warriors would beat the warriors in unplanned maneuvers or things that would happen as a result of flying a plane. Well, the warriors actually did very well. Even recreational pilots were able to perform as if they were a professional pilot, if they had the warrior gene. But what they didn't expect was that the professional pilots with the warrior gene did better than everybody else. Why? Their experience and preparation as professional pilots became their advantage. Their dopamine levels were high because they were prepared and calm. It was like, I've done this a million times before. This is a quote from the study. Increased pressure did not diminish their performance. Instead, their genetically best working memory and attention advantage kicked in. So here is the advantage for those of you who are warriors and you prepare. You have better moods, actually better working memory, better attention span, and superior planning skills. In other words, you warriors are cognitive rock stars. You make me look like the ADHD disaster that I really am. I'm just keeping it real. So I told you weren't less than. Now, so what is it? Why do I share this with you warriors? Because if you understand the things that are big stakes, high stakes pressure, and you prepare for them, it comes back to a phrase I've mentioned many times on this show. Relentless preparation will lead to reflexive performance. Let me say it again. Relentless preparation will lead to reflexive performance. You'll just perform. So, prepare. And you will acclimate. You warriors, you go, oh, I don't like pressure. Then prepare for it. Plan for it. The warrior goes, I need the pressure, baby. The warrior needs to say, I don't want the pressure. I want to prepare for it. And then you're going to outperform those people who love the pressure. You have what it takes. But to know yourself, self-awareness is a tenet of the show. If I know how pressure makes me feel, then I could prepare for it. So the warriors need to put some pressure in their life to perform at their best. The warriors need to plan for the pressure. Then you're going to be great. Coming up next, rage quitting and what it means.
Do you know what you were born to do? In order to get hired at a job you love, you need to get clear on your talent, passion, and mission. That's why our team created the Career Clarity Guide. In just a few minutes, this free tool will walk you through a process to discover what you do best, that's your talent, the work you love to do, that's your passion, and the results that matter to you, your mission. Then you'll feel more confident throughout the job search process. To get started, go to kencoleman.com/clarity.
What's with all the rage? Why is everybody so freaking angry? I wonder. I'm pondering. Here we go, folks. I got two articles I'm going to string together here, and you need to hear this. But full confession, I am borderline irritated as I jump into this because I'm so sick and tired of all the new phrases, right? I just quiet quitting. It just means you're doing enough to get by, right? Imposter syndrome. It just means you've got some doubt. I'm so tired of, I'm weary. And the media loves this crap. So, there's a Fortune magazine article, and the headline says, Millennial and Gen Z workers are fueling the Great Resignation by rage quitting, and they have no regrets. So I see this, and I go, what is all the rage? What is with all the rage? Right? What's going on? And you look into it and you go, this isn't rage. Like, rage is, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this real time, folks. I'm going to teach you what it's like to be in the mind of an ADHD person who's just got his own show and he's on the microphone. Let's just look this up, shall we? Rage definition. I just want to rage. Violent, uncontrollable anger. All right, that's good enough. I like that. That's very simple. Now we can move forward. 28-year-old New York City-based journalist that's going by S in this article. She's anonymous because she doesn't want to create more damage. Or maybe no damage. She shares her story. She's a journalist in New York City, and her final straw, her rage quitting, was when she was on a Zoom editorial meeting and had a contentious conversation with her leader about a story she was writing. This is her quote. She shared with Fortune magazine. I told him I disagreed with him, and he didn't like that. Well, that's part of the problem. This kind of a statement. Well, of course he didn't like it. He's a human. Well, he's unhealthy. She's unhealthy, and then watch what happens as it unravels. I told him I disagreed with him, and he didn't like that, she tells Fortune. So he, I suppose, can you just hear the sanctimony in that? So he, I suppose, decided he'd heard enough from me, and he force muted me while I was talking. It was like slamming a door in my face. He shouldn't have force muted her. He's acting like a petulant teenage boss. She's overreacting. It's a mess. She'd never been force muted before and was stunned. She immediately typed up and submitted a resignation letter. This is elementary school schoolyard stuff. You called me a name. We're not boyfriend, girlfriend anymore. I'm ignoring you. I mean, that's what this is. You all are laughing in the control booth, but that's exactly what this is. We've all done it on the playground. You didn't talk to me. You went and played with Ralph instead of talking to me on the bench. I'm not your girlfriend anymore. And we storm off. Her quote is, I almost didn't send it because I was not even 4 months into the job and was just starting off in a new city. Well, there's a mature thought. But she deleted the thought. He force muted me. I'm quitting. I'll show him. I'll become unemployed immediately. Boy, you got the best of him, sweetheart. I thought, wow, this is not going to look good on my resume. You're right. But I had to stand up for myself. I had a leader who was rude to me, and I am going to quit now. I will show him. Folks, you're acting like toddlers. When I used to feed all my 3 kids those awful baby jar foods, there was always 1 or 2 with each kid where they just weren't having it. And when a 2-year-old decides to not eat the carrots, they throw a fit in the high chair, they squirm, they hold their little mouth together, and they try to shut it like it's an iron door. That's what toddlers do. It's not what adults do. Well, so what this article and what the media are calling rage quitting is not rage quitting. It's not violent, uncontrollable anger. I'm having fun at this at the expense of this young lady because I'm treating her as though I was talking to my own daughter, and that's what I would say to my daughter. I'd say, yeah, he was wrong. He was absolutely exhibiting bad bossery. He was being a jerk. He was petulant. He was immature. Yes, yes, yes. But let's do what's best for us. Well, a lot of people in this time, because we have a huge shortage of workers, are doing this, and they're quitting at a moment's notice, and it is working out for them. But I want you to understand that you're playing the lottery. But I want to give full perspective because I'm of the people, by the people, for the people. Skynova did a survey and found out of 1,000 survey respondents, 60% of people who rage quit received a higher salary in their new job. Well, that's because of the world we're in right now. This isn't going to last. Try that crap a year from now and you're going to be screwed. Right now it's working because bosses are going, I can't replace them. You're playing the lottery. By the way, even in today's world, you're playing the lottery. It's not going to work out every time. Why do I warn you? Well, I'll get to that in a minute because of what's happening on TikTok, for heaven's sakes. But some people immediately regretted their decision. You don't say. 41% of rage quitters tried to get their job back after the fact. The number one reason that employees quit was poor management. Tell me something I don't know that I don't talk about every day on this show. Toxic boss was another reason. Again, that's poor management. Excessive work stress. Again, that's poor management. And toxic coworkers, poor management. So the three biggest reasons after number one are all the same thing, poor management. Because, see, poor management, or bad bossery, as I like to call it, allows for toxicity in the workplace, allows for no boundaries and people being overworked and overwhelmed, allows for toxic coworkers to say, well, they're a good performer. Yeah, but they're a jerk. They're making everybody else miserable. Yeah, but they're my number one salesperson. I hear that all the time from weak leaders. So TikTok is now all over this. So now we got a bunch of young people that are watching TikTokers with no wisdom and no knowledge instead of listening to me. That's why I'm on TikTok now. I don't know how to make them listen, but let me tell you what you need to know, young people who are watching viral videos like this one. Red Wheeze, a Canadian millennial working in social media marketing, told her followers, I got mad at work and I rage applied to like 15 jobs. And then I got a job that gave me $25,000 raise, and it's a great place to work. So keep rage applying. It'll happen. The videos had more than 2 million views, has been shared 20,000 times. Now, let me tell you what she should be saying. I got really lucky because I acted like a toddler and I went to work for a company that doesn't have good hiring practices, so they didn't check up on me on why I left the other place. But they hired me because they're desperate. And they paid me way too much money because I'm an immature little brat who's telling you to do the same thing, to play the job lottery. If your feelings get hurt or you get pissy, why don't you just quit and throw a hissy? Hey, somebody's got to tell you. Let me tell you something. That will follow you. Because what you don't understand is the same world that allows you to get 1 million views because you're talking about your pissy hissy is going to catch up to you one day when somebody calls your references. I know that. You know why? Because I'm 48 years old. Because I'm successful beyond a TikTok account. Rage quitting. Stop it. It's immature. It's short-sighted. And it's going to hold you back. You know what you ought to do? Is take a breath, walk out, sleep on it, get some perspective about your life, and then make a decision.
Are you wondering if you should leave your current job or stay put? You're not alone. That's why we created the Should I Quit My Job quiz. In just 5 minutes or less, this quiz will help you determine if you're at the right company and if you're in the right role. If you need to make a move, you'll even get practical next steps to keep you moving forward. Listen, stuck is a choice, and life is too short not to do what you were created to do. To take the quiz, go to kencoleman.com/quiz.
Helping you get unstuck and get to a breakthrough in your work life, in your personal growth. I'm Ken. This is the Ken Coleman Show. Boy, I have accidentally stirred it up on social. And boy, oh boy, this is the kind of thing that I've done that I'm happy about. I didn't intend to do it, but boy, oh boy, have we done it. And I'm going to stay here. So let me just call out. So if you are a husband of a lady who is a stay-at-home mom, you need to pay attention to this segment. If you are a stay-at-home mom, you need to pay attention to this segment. If you are a working mom, you need to pay attention to this segment and listen to what I'm saying, listen to what I am saying, what I'm not saying. So I'm going to show you a very brief clip. We actually took a question, an online emailed question on the Ramsey Show. I'm co-host of the Ramsey Show. And I'm on usually once, twice a week. What was formerly the Dave Ramsey Show, now is the Ramsey Show. And I was co-hosting recently with Rachel Cruz. And we took a question, and I read the question. You're going to see the question, and this is going to set up why I'm going to talk to stay-at-home moms and those who support stay-at-home moms and those who aren't stay-at-home moms. Because I had no idea this was a viral clip. 1.4 million and counting people have seen this and are commenting on it. Here is the moment. How do you feel about women being stay-at-home moms and not bringing in an income after they have a baby? Do you feel like that is an unwise financial decision? No. It's an important season. No one should shame a mom for wanting to work at home because that's what it is. It's not like you're eating bonbons and
always
watching.
Is like, I'm like, oh my God, you're not staying anywhere. You are running around.
What would you
still.
add to that as a professional mom?
Yeah, I mean, I would say you're saving on childcare. There was a study that was run. The mileage the average mom drives, the food that she cooks, the house that she cleans. If you were to outsource all of that, $1.2 million.
Yeah. So there it goes. So Rachel shared that on her Instagram and I think TikTok as well. And I shared it on mine. And so the thing went bananas. And I mean, the overwhelming response is from stay-at-home moms. They're saying, thank you, Ken, for saying that. And I'm going, well, my wife is a stay-at-home mom. She has also been a working mom. My mom was a stay-at-home mom for 11 years of my life. And then the others until 18. So another 7 years, she was a professional working woman. So spare the vitriol. For those of you that are snowflakes and don't know what vitriol means, let me dumb it down for you. It means spare the hate. Because my mom was a stay-at-home mom and a working outside the home mom. My wife, the same. So spare me. I actually understand what it's like to support both. I was raised by one. My wife is raising our kids as one. So shut up and just listen. So I did some research. I put out another Instagram post. You can go check it out at Ken Coleman. And I basically cited this study. What does the research say? The pros and cons of being a stay-at-home mom. Now, again, working moms. If you have to work, I honor you as much as I do a stay-at-home mom. Let's get that out of the way. If a stay-at-home mom can stay at home and work from home mom in the home for the family, and they can do it, and they want to do it, then bless God, they should do it. But if you're on the other side and you cannot do it, then I honor you. And here's another one. If you don't have to work for the money, but you want to work because of your unique contribution, I'm the purpose at work guy. I'm for you too. No mom guilt at all. My point here is I am loving on the stay-at-home moms because culture does tend to bang on them a good bit and say you aren't doing what's best for your family because you aren't helping the hubs work. And so I'm just calling it out. So I am for working moms because that's what they all are. You either work outside of the home or you're working your fanny off in the home. Can I get an amen? All right. So what are the pros? This is a study and I'll source it here in a minute. I don't have it. It doesn't matter. Here we go. I cited it on my Instagram post. That's going to work for today. What are the pros of being a stay-at-home mom? An increase in the child's school performance. And again, it doesn't mean that if you're working outside the home that your kid's going to be a flunky. It's just that there is data that shows that your child's school performance can and does increase when you are in the home. The child has less stress and aggression. Again, it's got that anchoring, mooring mom in their life. Just go do your research. Those of you who want to shoot holes in everything, just go do the research on the powerful psychology between the child and the mother when the child comes out of the womb. I mean, the umbilical cord. Like some of you who are like, and you're all science. Why don't you just go see what science says about the connection, the literal connection? It's a powerful bond between mother and child. Go look at the research on what happens when that bond is broken. Greater involvement in the child's day-to-day life when you can be working in the home, stay-at-home mom. Then just more involvement. That's good for the child. And then there's a sense of purpose and satisfaction that I believe I'm supposed to be here and I want to be here and I'm able to be here. And so that's a positive. Now let's look at the cons. Let me show you all sides of this deal. Thank you. Very Well Family is the source of the article and the study. Cons for stay-at-home moms. Many times the ladies desire to go back to the workplace. And I get these calls and I say, look, this is a season, not a sentence. It's a season, not a sentence. You can go back. You got a lot to offer when you decide to go back. A lot of times stay-at-home moms have higher levels of sadness, depression, and anger because what is going on here is you're in a high-stress situation with the kiddo or kiddos and you feel isolated. So you need to get you some mommy groups. You need to get you some activities, right? If we're saving money by you being home, then you go get yourself a cycle class or a spa day. Like, you got to take care of you. This is not something you can't overcome. Social isolation for the parent and a loss of income. That's right. It's a sacrifice. Okay? There's no question it's a sacrifice. 60% of Americans believe that the choice is best for children, the choice to come home and have one working parent. Now, a lot of dudes are doing this, so we got stay-at-home dads out. I don't want to ignore these guys. This is the world we live in. I go out and I love on stay-at-home moms, and then I get 6 people going, what about the stay-at-home dads? I'll tell you, it's not a post about stay-at-home dads. If I go out and say the sun, getting vitamin D in your life, getting sun in your life is good. What about the moon? I'm not talking about the moon. I'm talking about the sun, you dolt. So this is therapeutic for me because I don't comment to those trolls on social. I get therapy by making fun of you on the show. The role in stay-at-home dads is increasing. Now, here's some warnings. If you make this decision for your child, for your family, understand that you are a person and you cannot give what you do not have. So mamas, daddies that are staying home, if your mental health is frayed, if your physical health, you're there and you're eating all the little goldfish with your kids and you're putting on some weight, like that's a trap. That's a warning. Your physical, your mental, your emotional health is under pressure, just like it would be in a high-pressure job in the workforce. Because let me tell you something, there ain't a more high-pressure job on the planet than a stay-at-home mama. I'm just going to tell you. Don't tell me that it's less stressful than being an astronaut, for crying out loud, which to me is very stressful. I don't know why I've got that in my mind, but I think being an astronaut going up in that rocket is pretty freaking stressful. Well, guess what? That happens to a mom by 9 a.m. every day. You all right? You have a toddler melting down, all right? Pooped their diaper, took it off, threw it all over the house. I mean, that's nothing. Put me in a rocket and send me to space. I can handle that. A scorned toddler is like the spawn of Satan. We all know it if we've been a parent. By the way, we don't need to waterboard or abuse foreign spies or terrorists. Just put them in a room with an angry, hungry toddler. They'll tell you everything they want to know in 10 minutes or less. I love you stay-at-home mamas and you working mamas.
If the thought of attending a networking event makes you break out in hives, you're not alone. And I'll let you in on a secret. Networking in the traditional sense doesn't work, but genuine connection is all about relationships. That's why we created Networking the Right Way. This free guide is the low-pressure, high-impact way to overcome the awkwardness, build real relationships, and turn your connections into opportunities. To get the guide, go to kencoleman.com/network.
Helping you do what you were born to do. I'm Ken. This is the Ken Coleman Show. Time to coach some people up. Let's go to the land of Mickey Mouse, Orlando, Florida. Patrick is joining us there. Patrick, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken.
Hey.
Hey, I started my job about a week ago. Got a new job. I was looking, had a couple options, picked one, and I think it's time to go. It's only been a week. I'd like to know how I'd go about it.
Okay, I'm sorry to laugh. I'm not laughing at you. I'm trying to laugh with you. What in the world has happened in 1 week to where you're pulling the eject cord?
Well, I have similar experiences with some other companies where, there's not, a team. I'm looking for a team, not an individual, just not a swim team, but more of a, football team where we're working together. This one seems like here's your task list. Get back to me when you're done.
All right. Let me ask you a question before I weigh into this.
Sure.
Did you ask questions in the interview process when you had the opportunity to talk in the interview that would have gleaned some of this, or did you just kind of go, well, this one feels like it's the right one. Let's give this one a shot?
I think I had exit. I think I was looking for whatever I could get to. Right.
So the answer
I wanted to get away from where I was.
Right,
I don't think I asked the correct question.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Well, why are you calling me? Are you asking for permission? Why'd you call me?
How would you say it?
How would I say it?
I mean, would you just say, here's my stuff?
I'd say I blew it.
For me.
I say I blew it.
Okay.
I owe you guys an apology. I didn't ask really good questions in the interview. This is what I'm looking for. It's not here. And I'm not this is not posturing. This is not negotiating. I just want to leave. It's my fault. I blew it. It's not you. It's me. It's the old breakup. But I think this time it's actually true. Every time a girl told me that, I was like, you got to be kidding me. It's not you. It is me. You don't like me. Yeah. And in some ways, they're going to feel the same way. They're going to be like, well, this is a bunch of BS. But you know what? You got to own it. And because I do think you got to be classy and go, I'm sorry. This is not a good fit for me. And so what I've learned in my life is that the best way to pull a Band-Aid off is not slowly.
Okay. Yep. Because I feel like I'm in over my head, and I don't think I'm going to get the help I need. So
then tell them.
I think it's just time.
Just say, this is not a good fit. I have learned my lesson. I did not ask good questions. This is not a negotiating tactic. I'm literally resigning. And I'm trying to do the right thing now because I did the wrong thing by taking this job. That's the most honorable way that you can do that.
Okay.
Is that what your question was? Is how to do this?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
All right, but I don't want to let you go until
one of those things.
But okay. See, I don't want to let you go until we go back to what you said at the beginning, which I really appreciate your self-awareness. And you better learn something from this, which is, how am I asking questions in the interview process to be able to figure out if this company has the culture that I want to be in? How do I do that? I can go talk to other people who work there, who have worked there. I can do some research. I've got to become a basic detective in the interview search, in the job search. And in the interview, I have got to be willing to ask good, thoughtful, deep, searching questions. Because here's what's going to happen when we ask those questions. Either they're going to give you a good answer, and good answer doesn't mean it's what you want to hear, but they actually address what you're asking, or they kick the can down the road and sound like a politician on a Sunday morning show, and you know they have no idea what you're talking about, or they have no desire to actually answer your question. You got it?
Yep, I do. Yeah, I was more answering their questions rather than asking.
Yeah,
the right
and again, I want to
questions for
remind
myself.
you, Patrick, and everybody else watching and listening to me right now, the job interview is absolutely as much for you as it is for the employer. Would you ever do that in a dating relationship?
No.
No, you wouldn't do that. It's crazy. That's why arranged marriages didn't stick. It was one-sided. Hey, Bobby. So, Susie's dad gave me, 400 cows, so you're going to marry her. That doesn't work. Why? There's no buy-in from Bobby. He doesn't want to marry her. He has to marry her. Same thing with a job. Come on.
According to Glassdoor, attracts over 250 applicants. If you've made it to the interview, you've already made a great impression. So now is the time to showcase how you are the best choice for the role. That's why we created How to Win the Interview. This free guide will walk you through the 5 strategies to help you stand out amongst the competition. With just some intentionality, you can prepare yourself to win the interview. Go to kencoleman.com/interview.
This is the show where we counsel, coach, and cheer you on to do what you were born to do. Every one of you has a unique role that you are supposed to fill in this world. And there's purpose in your occupational life. There just is. And until you figure that out, you're going to kind of have this part of your life that you spend an enormous amount of time in that just doesn't quite give you the juice. And there's no reason to live that way. I'm here to help. The show's growing. Thank you very much. And you all are responding. And I hate the world we live in because it is driven by algorithms. Can I tell you, I hate the word algorithm with a deep, abiding passion because I'm not speaking to algorithms. I'm speaking to humans. But the greatest marketing tool in the world now is not coming from an ad agency. It's from you. So if you listen and enjoy listen to and you enjoy this show via podcast, would you go give us a positive review? I will tell you that at the end of the day yesterday, Alex, the producer, showed me some reviews that came in just a couple days ago or throughout this last week. And I must tell you, I got just shy of weepsy. That's why I do what I do. And but it's an algorithm thing, and it helps us grow. So give us a review and subscribe to the podcast. I know we're giving you a lot of content. And if there's a topic that you think will help somebody, share it. It takes one click, go. You're the greatest marketing tool in the world. If you watch via YouTube, same deal. Would you subscribe? We're getting close to 100,000 subscribers, and I guess they send you a plaque with that, and I could give 2 craps about the plaque, but it is a milestone that continues to help us grow. And so would you subscribe, and then would you share the show? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because it's not about me. It's about the people that we're helping. So there you go. I hate algorithms. I feel better now. Feel better. Jennifer is joining us now in Houston, Texas. Jennifer, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, good afternoon, Ken.
Hi.
I took your career assessment about a year ago and to get clear, and it really resonated with me, but I don't know how to turn that into a financially viable career.
All right. Well, let's start with some of the ideas you've had, and then we might actually get you to give me the results. By the way, she is talking about the Get Clear Career Assessment. It's less than 20 minutes, and for the first time in your life, going to give you some crazy self-awareness, and then we got to turn it into actual ideas, work that matters deeply to you. You're going to get a report on talent, what you do best, passion, work that you actually love, and then mission, what motivates you, what results motivate you. When you know those 3 things, woo, baby, you are aware and you are going to have a chance to be on purpose. Now, Jennifer, my guess is you took it a year ago and you've had a lot of ideas or a few ideas that have popped to the top of your head and heart. Is that true?
Yes and no. I kind of tried to contact you and didn't get very far, and then
well, I'm sorry. Now you're here.
I'm sorry.
What were the
yes,
ideas?
I'm here now. So,
yeah, but
so,
give me the yes.
Ideas as far as like job careers.
Yeah, or ideas, just work. Like forget career for a second.
I love helping people. I love advocating for people.
Good.
A lot of compassion. I feel very strong about what's right and wrong and standing on that.
Good. All right, so stop. So we're going to stop right there. You've already given me enough. This is beautiful. So when you get your purpose statement, you have it, and you get it in the assessment. I want everybody who's listening and watching who maybe haven't taken it, or maybe you're in this boat, you go, because I can't give you, no assessment can spit out a specific job or career path. That would be junk science. And I am not a car salesman or a snake oil salesman. But what I can do is give you clarity on you and then begin to allow you to fill in the answers. So let's go back to what you said. There are 3 questions that I want you to answer right now on the spot. I don't want you to think. I want you to feel. Don't edit your answers. Blurt your answers out and trust me to tie it together. Agreed?
Agreed.
Here we go. Who, and I want you to describe as specifically as possible, who are the people that you want to help, find yourself helping, would love to help? If you got a paycheck helping these people, who are those people? Describe them. Now, go.
It's people that don't have the means or the funds or the tools to help themselves, people that can't speak for themselves, people that are not educated enough or have the tools that they need that can't speak for themselves.
Good.
The
now,
underdog.
Yes, there it is. Woo! That's it. In one word, you blurted it out. The people, now listen, we're still talking about 20,000 feet here. We're going to land this plane. But the people that you desire to make a difference on their behalf are the underdogs.
Yes.
Now let's just really seal this in your heart. What from your experience in life or environment in life, maybe both, your past, up to this moment, what from your experience or environment draws you to the underdog? This is time to get real, very personal.
That's a great question. I don't know if it's my spiritual, my Christian beliefs in God, the spiritual side of me.
That's part of it. That's part of it. That's absolutely part of it.
I hate to see people done wrong. Like let's do people right. Do what's right.
Right. What's that? Where's that come from? Besides
don't take advantage of people.
Besides your faith, where does that come from? Is anybody in your family? Have you ever seen that happen to somebody else close to you?
My father's probably that way. It's definitely in my genetics.
Love it.
I'm trying to dig deep.
No, you are. All right, that's enough. We'll stop right there because you gave me enough. There are 2 distinct things that inform this, and this is your why. Jennifer, you watched your dad chase justice. You watched your dad care for people, fight for people. He modeled it for you. That's powerful. That's from your environment. You grew up watching him do that, yes or no?
Yes.
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 Yes. And then your faith.
And I think also it happened to him. People tried to take advantage of him because of his kindness and his Christian, being a Christian.
Right. Okay. So there is a sense of justice there, but he was compassionate because of your faith. You love seeing restoration in the lives of people.
Yeah.
All right. We got that. Now, I want you to hone in a little bit more specifically. Yes, the underdog is who you want to help, but let's be more specific because there's lots of underdogs. There's underdogs who have grown up in poverty. There are underdogs who grew up in an abusive household. There are underdogs who nobody ever taught them how to manage their money. Do you see where I'm going here? Lots of underdogs.
Yes, sir.
I want you dialing in here. So what is the problem or desire that the underdog has that you most connect to? Can't solve every problem. What is your heart telling you right now? Define the problem. Be more specific. They have this unique challenge or this unique desire? What is it?
I feel like it's people that are in a position that are extremely overwhelmed emotionally. They're in a bad situation, and they are just trying to crawl out of a hole.
Yeah. Yeah. And then what is the solution to that? I don't want you to overthink this. Do not talk about career or job right now. I want you to talk about functionally meeting these people right now. If I said today, Jennifer, I'm going to put you with those people who are emotionally overwhelmed because of decisions they've made or things that have happened to them, how would you want to help them today? You go, Ken, let me at them. I'm going to do this. What would be that solution? What is it?
Well, the solution, and I'll go a step further, people that are in an emotional distraught because of something that they had no control over.
Boom.
So not necessarily decisions they made, but something happened in their life, and now they're in a hole.
Now
so
we're cooking. How would you help them? What would you do?
I would go and assess their situation and say, what is your greatest need? And talk to them and then come up with a solution for them.
Boom. So here's what I'm not hearing. I'm not hearing counseling and dealing with the trauma. You are triage.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
Somebody comes in with a woman comes in, let me give it this way. A woman comes in who's been battered by an absolute drudge of society, some punk guy. Mm-hmm. She's got physical wounds that have got to be dealt with in the moment in the ER. They got to help her right then and there.
Right.
She's going to need help in multiple ways. You're the person that goes, you're overwhelmed right now. Your world's spinning. I need to get you out. I think that's what you're looking for. Who's helping those people? Go apply there.
Thanks for listening to The Ken Coleman Show. For more, you can find the show on demand wherever you listen to podcasts and watch the show on YouTube. You can also find Ken across all social media by following @Ken Coleman.